everyone, today we'll be doing a period 6 presentation by Dane, Ted, and Anthony.
So the rise of industrial America. So our three main points are land. So basically there was a lot of land out west and it needed to be colonized. So they would use the west as a way to like create factories and stuff like that so that America could be more industrial. And next we have labor. So basically with America becoming an industrial nation, it needed a labor force. So immigration from places like China, immigrants would come over and they would work. And in the West Coast, it was people from Asia, and on the East, people from Ireland. And lastly, we have capital. So with the rise of industry, you want to what capital means basically is to have control over something. So more capital in a certain industry means you have more control over something. You basically want to build up your capital so that you control more stuff. So people like Rockefeller would control the oil and gas industries.
Our essay is Labor Day from Protests to Picnics. Our claim says, although many ethnic groups and minor unions banded together and were successful in letting their voices regarding the labor movement be acknowledged at the federal level, the road there wasn't so clean and was instead stained with the sweat, tears, and blood of many labor activists. A bit of context. As the 19th century came to a close, the labor movement started expanding significantly. Greater numbers of experienced artisans played a leading roles while unskilled workers joined the movement and organizing. Multitudes of small unions started banding together in New York City, which would later be founded as the Central Labor Union, or the CLU. This organization consisted of various ethnic backgrounds, making room for a diverse range of political opinions. In September of 1882, the CLU took up a proposal to sponsor a quote, monster labor festival, which involved a parade followed by a picnic. We will soon know this festival as Labor Day, as they were workers and laborers alike took a day off. The popularity of this event only grew higher as the years passed, and in 1885 and 1886, a few city governments designated it as an official holiday. States started doing the same, and eventually, Grover Cleveland signed a bill that made it a quote, legal public holiday. May Day would be the rival holiday of Labor Day. On May 1, 1886, unions across the country were called to hold demonstrations and strikes, thus May Day. These strikes would demand an 8-hour workday and eventually came to a halt when a bomb exploded and killed 8 policemen at a May 3 rally in Chicago's Haymarket Square. 8 anarchists were accused of being involved in this act, and 4 of them were hanged, despite having little to no evidence proving that they were the perpetrators. In the years that followed this incident, May Day became a day for protesting the arrests of socialists, anarchists, and unionists, while also continuing to push for shorter work hours. May Day eventually weakened and was left behind as the 20th century unfolded, leaving Labor Day as the only holiday specialized for workers. The initial number of men and women who were involved in Labor Day festivals and or events was impressively large. The first ever parade had 10,000 men and a few women, and the 1886 parade held in Chicago had around 35,000 people marching. However, attendance at Labor Day slowly dwindled. As more unionists moved to the suburbs, many lost their interest in parades on city streets. In the 1966 parade that was held in Detroit, only 6,000 people took part. The Detroit News even reported that, and I quote, workers spent a 3-day holiday enjoying backyard barbecues, boats, and summer cottages, the fruits of their victories, end quote. Unions in cities eventually stopped sponsoring the events, and while revived parades were massive with 200,000 marches in New York in 1981, attendance and official celebrations became less frequent and eventually came to a complete halt by the 1900s.
And next we have the assassination of Andrew Garfield. So the person who killed him, his name's Charles Guito, and basically the situation is a bunch of people looked for his motive on why he killed President Andrew Garfield, since it was kind of out of nowhere. And so what Charles, I'm just gonna refer to him as Charles, what Charles did is he wrote a poem about it. So in his poem, his audience is to all of America. So the purpose of it was to explain why he killed Garfield. But from his point of view, um, well, Charles is mentally insane. At least that's what was at least that's what the court said. They said he was mentally insane. And basically, what the poem is about is that he wants to be with the Lord. So what I presume is, knowing that he would be hanged if he killed Garfield, you saw that's kind of like his best course of action. It's like he was like mentally insane. That's what he thought of. It was like, oh, if I just kill Garfield, then like I'll die. Cause like he's pretty religious and he wants to be with, like, the Lord. I mean, like, part of the like poem is like today, like, Lordy Lordy, and like it's like stuff like that. So yeah, pretty weird.
Oh my lordy lord.
So our supporting document for this essay is the Haymarket Affair 1886. So for the situation, essentially what happened is that while a public rally was being held in Haymarket Square, the police that were stationed there and the strikers clashed. A bomb was thrown at them, which resulted in the death of multiple policemen and injuring many in the crowd. The police there were uncertain about the source of the bomb and yet still fired into the crowd, killing 4 of the demonstrators. The identity of the bomb thrower is still a mystery, but that didn't stop 8 men from being indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit the act. Even though it was made very clear that none of the men who were involved in the incident, they were still convicted, and 4 out of the 8 of the men were executed by hanging. Audience members include people who were there to witness the whole bombing event and fellow anarchists, activists, and social laborers. As for the purpose of this document, it was written to express disappointment in the killing of the innocent men and to suggest that the event was part of a bigger scheme related to the labor movement. So for the point of view, this is Dyer D. Lom's point of view, and I don't pronounce the name. He's a well-known author and editor of anarchist texts. Through checking this document, you can easily tell that this man believes that the convicting and the hanging of the innocent men was unjust, and that they were probably all just victims of a grander scheme of weeding out and destroying labor activism.
So to conclude this video, thank you for watching.
Don't forget to leave a like on this video and hit that follow button.